Our culture is connected to motorcycles. Police, military, the movies, we're trying to make that connection.
Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon. Thank you for the support and showing up. This is a big day for us. We've been working on this for quite a while, and it was a dream to be in this museum. We can't thank you all enough for showing support for the oldest club in the world. All the faces I see here at all of our parties, and all family and friends. It's great. I'm just going to read like a sentence, and then we'll get into the meat of it. Throughout the years, there's been hundreds of members that have passed through the ranks of this club. Since its inception, and each one of their stories is deserving of an award. YMC has always held itself to a higher standard when it came to membership. It was never about quantity. It was always about the quality of the member. We have had members like C.P. Rogers that flew the first transcontinental flight across the U.S., George Usco Ellis, who was a personal courier for the Vice President Coolidge, B-29 Left Gunner John Soltis, who never made it back home to his family, and today's ceremony is to honor those achievements and sacrifices made by past and current members. I was just speaking to one of my other brothers earlier who said it will go by fast, and no truer statement was ever said. What comes to mind is brothers that immediately affected me, and their absence here is noticeable, such as Kenny, Johnny Poolers, Joey Schroka, and the most recently Flash, very solid, you know, all of them on their own were super solid brothers who were super instrumental in keeping us going over the years. Before Keith, our historian, takes the mic, because Keith was the major man behind all of this, few of us participated, but Keith dedicated hours and hours of time to it. I'd like to present him with an award just to thank him for all his diligence and tenacity in making this happen. This is to the historian in recognition for your dedication in the opening up of the Yonkers MC exhibit in this museum, September 26, 2021. It'll look nice in your curio cabinet or somewhere.
Debbie, will you help me put it there? Wow, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, Keith, you got the floor.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for being here today to support the Yonkers Motorcycle Club and Motorcyclepedia. I would like to specifically thank Ted Doran and his amazing staff, Tom Murphy, Chris Naziak, Oliver, Raquel, Thomas, Keith Jones, Pete, for helping me during this setup period. I'd like to thank my wife, Debbie, for helping me put this together. If it wasn't for her, I would still be sitting in that corner trying to figure out where to put the first picture, and that was over a year ago. It's amazing to see so many friends and so many Yonkers MC members at the same place, at the same time. As I take a look around this room, I see so many people that dedicated a good part of their life to the longevity and preservation of Yonkers Motorcycle Club and its traditions. We have members that served in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and even our most recent member, Tommy, who got in a couple of months ago. This exhibit is like no other in the world. We have historical memorabilia dating back 142 years, with the exception of the Yonkers Bicycle Club in 1879. On top of that, we hold the distinction of being the oldest motorcycle club in the world. Originally, my speech was about 74 minutes, but I had my wife shave it down, so you can all thank Debbie. Because I would literally miss work tomorrow, and I would still be sitting here speaking, but we're going to spare you. I would like to focus my attention now on the Yonkers Bicycle Club, where it all started. The Yonkers Bicycle Club was founded on November 19th, 1879 by Elliott Mason. It was only a couple of years earlier that the first bicycle was seen riding down the streets of Boston, and it received a lot of mixed reviews. A Boston Globe article described a witness account from a woman that thought it was the devil's flying machine coming toward her to take her soul, as it nearly knocked her off the sidewalk. There was backlash about women riding bicycles. Cycling women often wore bloomers, which is widely seen as indecent. They were much like men's pants. Another charge against the cycling craze was that people were spending their Sundays on bike rides rather than at church. As the sport opened to both men and women, cycling threatened to leave preachers and congregations made up of only the sick and the elderly. After the initial shock settled in, the bicycle craze officially began. Mason opened and operated a rider instruction school to teach people how to ride these contraptions. Elliott Mason was a Columbia bicycle agent in Yonkers who went to work as a general manager for the boat manufacturing company at 12 Warren Street, establishing the oldest cycle depot in New York City. The Columbia bicycle was also commonly referred to as the high wheeler and was first introduced in 1878. The boat manufacturing company had become a giant in the industry for bicycle production, eventually leading to motorcycle production, and eventually they took a stab at automobile production. Over the years, he became one of Colonel Albert Augustus Pope's most trusted companions. Bottom line, Pope was a brilliant businessman and inventor, but Elliott Mason played a huge part in the success of the Pope Manufacturing Company. Elliott Mason was also the founder of the League of American Wheelmen, created in Newport, Rhode Island on May 30th, 1880. 150 bicyclists from 32 different clubs came to Newport, where they officially formed the organization and wrote and ratified its constitution the next day. Their mission, as stated in the Constitution, was to promote the general interest of bicycling, to ascertain, defend, and protect the rights of wheelmen, and encourage and facilitate touring. In an effort to improve riding conditions so they might better enjoy their newly discovered sport, more than 100,000 cyclists from across the United States joined the League to advocate for paved roads. The success of the League and its first advocacy efforts ultimately led to our first national highway system. By 1899, the League of American Wheelmen was comprised of over 800 bicycle clubs. The Yonkers Bicycle Club was the 29th bicycle club to be formed in the United States. The 10th to join the club, the 10th bicycle club to join the League of American Wheelmen, and the first to join in New York State. The club's legacy of hill climbing contests, lantern runs, historic relay races, endurance races, and endurance records set both in the United States and abroad will remain a staple of early bicycling history. Elliott Mason will also be remembered as the father of the Yonkers Bicycle Club, and his legacy will forever be enshrined with the achievements of the Pope Manufacturing Company and the League of American Wheelmen. We were supposed to have the family of Elliott Mason here. They were coming in from Georgia and North Carolina. I believe their flight got delayed, but I thought it'd be something a year ago or so if we could locate the family of Elliott Mason, call them up to stage to receive a plaque in his honor. I mean, how cool would it be if we could somehow go on to Ancestry.com, input the name Elliott Mason, and spend the next 2 months creating a family tree, tracing their lineage back 2 centuries. How cool would it be if I can send an email to a cousin of the great-granddaughter of Elliott Mason at a local veterinarian shop, send that email out, get a response, and hope that they didn't think I was a nut job trying to steal their family heirlooms. They're not here right now, but I would like to present the plaque and read it. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club proudly presents the plaque to the family of Elliott Mason. Elliott Mason was a bicycling pioneer of his time and made many great contributions to the sport of bicycling. He should always be remembered as the father of the Yonkers Bicycle Club You should be extremely proud of his accomplishments regarding the Pope Manufacturing Company and the League of American Wheelmen. His legacy will forever be attached to the oldest motorcycle club in the world. This is the plaque for Elliott Mason when they arrive. Give a big round of applause. I would like to now shift my attention to the Yonkers Motorcycle Club. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club was founded in 1903 by George A. Ellis, a member of the Yonkers Bicycle Club, which consisted of 23 men. Keeping with their Yonkers bicycle traditions, elections were held, and George Ellis became Yonkers Motorcycle Club's first president. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club was among the first motorcycle clubs to affiliate with the American Motorcycle Association when the association was formed in 1924. As our George Ellis organized and sponsored the first motorcycle polo team in the United States, called the Quaker Polo Club, a Yonkers team was soon formed. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club created a motorcycle polo team in the late 1920s, becoming one of the best class motorcycle polo clubs in the Northeast. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club was officially incorporated with the New York State on October 3rd, 1952, and today operates as a 501c3 public charity, giving back to many organizations within the Yonkers community. On June 11, 2019, the United States Patent and Trademark Office recognized and registered Yonkers Motorcycle Club as the oldest motorcycle club in the world. Stopped that 3 years ago. In 2019, I began my search to find a relative of George Usco Ellis. Armed with old street addresses from old census records from the late 1800s and early 1900s, I began to piece together Usco and his family movements and travels over the course of their lives. A family tree started to unfold, and an amazing story began to develop. It was at this point that I joined Ancestry.com and spent the next 7 months creating Usco's family tree and searching for living relatives. I had traced Usco's family lineage as far back as 3 centuries. I started calling old phone numbers and sending emails to possible relatives of Usco and even trying neighbors. I must have called 50 plus people before leaving a voice message on the machine of George and Percy Ellis. I remember leaving a message saying, "My name is Keith May. I spent the last 3 years researching your grandfather and logged over 2,600 man hours. And I got to tell you, he was one of the greatest motorcycle enthusiasts to have ever lived." If you want to know more about your grandfather, please give me a call. I have hundreds of articles to share with you. About 4 hours later, I received a phone call from George A. Ellis IV, the grandson of Usco, the last living relative in the Ellis lineage. They sent me Usco's personal medal collection, personal photo album, old YMC trophies, countless newspaper articles that contained information that was even new to me. I decided to catalog all the articles and published a book on George Ellis titled "The Greatest Motorcycle Enthusiast to Have Ever Lived." In 2019, I sent an application along with this book to the American Motorcycle Hall of Fame to get this man the recognition that he deserves and inducted into the Hall of Fame. On December 3rd, 2019, the AMA Hall of Fame added Ellis to the 2020 roster of new applicants to be considered by the Hall of Fame Selection Committee. George and Percy Ellis wish they could be here today to attend today's ceremony, but George has some serious medical issues that prevent him from traveling, so they decided to record themselves and speak to you through video. Oliver?
Welcome to the Yonkers Motorcycle Club exhibit. I'm Percy Ellis, and this is my husband,
George Ellis. I am the grandson of George Usco Ellis, the founder of Yonkers Motorcycle Club.
Usco Ellis was a motorcycling pioneer. He set endurance records, including the first endurance run in 1903. He set 24-hour mileage records, distance records, with and without sidecars, including Boston to Chicago. 1,400 miles in 55 hours and 10 minutes in 1921. In 1926, he won the Gold Medal Award for the National Six-Day Trials. He organized hill climbs, gypsy tours, long-distance tours, and the first midnight run in 1917, which continues to this day. He is a candidate to the American Motorcycle Association Hall of Fame. We are proud that many items my husband inherited from Yusko Ellis are on display for the first time in this exhibit. He was a true pioneer. Enjoy the exhibit.
I do have a plaque that I would like to give to George Ellis. He's not here, obviously, to attend, so I will send it to him.
They'll just send it back first.
Exactly. Maybe I should just leave it here. The Yonkers Motorcycle Club proudly presents the Longevity Award to George A. Ellis IV in honor of your grandfather, George A. Ellis, founder of the Yonkers Motorcycle Club. Your grandfather's accomplishments in the sport of motorcycle endurance racing, hill climbs, and gypsy tours still stand the test of time. As the last man standing in the Ellis lineage, please be assured his traditions have been preserved, and his legacy will forever be attached to the oldest motorcycle club in the world. Let's give a round of applause for George A. Ellis IV. Jimmy.
We just have something small to give. Jack and Keith, our treasurer, historian, a small token of our appreciation from the members, active, inactive, and of course our life members. Something for remembering the day. Keith. Jackie, thank you for his countless hours of work. Don't go appreciate it. Thank you from all members.
Tom? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. Can I get a drum roll? Yonkers Motorcycle Club and Motorcyclepedia Museum proudly presents the oldest motorcycle club in the world exhibit!
It's finally open. Thank you.
No worries. Motorcycle Club. Guys, great day. Tell me your story.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for everyone for coming out. This is a big day for us. My name is Jack O'Malley. I'm president of Yonkers Motorcycle Club, the oldest club in the world. Next to me is Keith May. He's our treasurer / club historian. He was extremely instrumental in putting this together. We've been working on this for over a year. We've been hoping to be in this museum from our first tour of it years ago, and it took some work, but the proprietor here is excellent to work with. The staff here were very good to us. Keith put in hundreds of hours, hundreds, to put all of this material together that you see. And we have double that in storage. We thinned it out just to fit into this kiosk. And we can't be more thankful to the support that we received from the biker community that showed up here for this today. It means a lot to us.
Beautiful. Keith, how did it happen?
Well, it started 12 years ago when I became a member of the Yonkers Motorcycle Club. My interest was immediately piqued at the history of being the oldest motorcycle club in the world, and I decided to take it a step further and go into the research a little more than anyone else has in the past. I wanted to find out where our founders came from, what was their thoughts at the time that they started this motorcycle club. There's a lot of traditions inside this motorcycle club that actually came from the Yonkers Bicycle Club, and that's where we really started. In 1879, over 142 years ago, we started out as a bicycle club, and from there we evolved into the Yonkers Motorcycle Club. And many of those traditions from the bicycle club went into the motorcycle club. And us being the oldest motorcycle club in the world, there's many other motorcycle clubs that share those common traditions.
Beautiful, beautiful, guys. We've talked about the past. What do we see for the future for the Yonkers Motorcycle Club?
The future is very bright for us. As we had said earlier in our speech, we don't really concentrate on volume, more quality of members, and we have acquired some new members that are very enthusiastic, should I say, about our future. We're currently looking for a clubhouse in Yonkers. We don't have one at the moment. We have our meetings at the VFW on Yonkers Avenue, which also the VFW are very supportive. We have veterans in our club, so we do things for veterans in the community, as well as toy parties for orphanages, and we're heavily involved in the community. So we're hoping to establish roots once again in Yonkers and have a clubhouse of our own. That being said, we're also looking forward to having our kiosk here grow. We have a lot of interesting information, memorabilia, trophies, documentation, obviously throughout the years that we have acquired, and we would like to put them on display for the public to enjoy.
Beautiful. Any encouraging words to your members?
I couldn't be more proud to be in any club in the world. My brothers are my life. This is a family to me, and I look forward to being around for quite a while. I have 17 years in now. I don't plan on going anywhere. Our guys stay around. We're not a quick hit and run club. We're in it for the long haul, and I'm looking forward to riding down the road many more miles with these guys.
Beautiful. Thank you for your time, guys, and good luck with the future with Yonkers Motorcycle Club.
Thank you very much.